We tested sneakers from 10 of the most popular women's shoe brands. We flipped them over, we checked the soles, we felt the leather, or what the brands call leather. Then we ranked them from worst to best by one simple question. What are you actually getting for your money? The brand that has marketed itself as the comfort shoe for women scored dead last. And the brand at number 1 is one that a lot of people have dismissed as the boring, old-fashioned dad sneaker. But it turned out to be the single best value in women's sneakers. And it is not even close. We are not ranking shine dupes or the disposable stuff. You already know those are throwaways. This list starts where real money actually gets spent, and where the gap between what you pay and what you get actually hurts. Every pair gets one of 3 ratings. Skip means keep your money in your purse. Hit or miss means there is value, but only if you know the rules. Must have means every pair delivered. No brand loyalty, no hype, nobody paid me a dime. We are starting at the bottom. Number 10. Fashion dupe sneakers, skip. You know exactly the ones I mean. The trendy little copycats all over social media for $25 to $40, made to look like a shoe some celebrity wore 6 weeks ago. And here's what you're really buying. The upper is almost always something called PU, a coated plastic made to look like leather in a photo. It looks great in a photo. It also cracks and peels, usually inside one season, because it is a coating, not a real material. It falls apart on the shelf whether you wear it or not. The sole is glued straight on, pure cement, not a single stitch. So the first time you get caught in the rain, it peels away from the toe. And the footbed inside is a thin, flat sheet of foam with no arch shape at all. Here is the math that matters. A $30 dupe you toss after 2 months costs you about 38 cents every single time you wear it. A real $120 pair worn 3 years runs you about 8 cents a wear. The cheap shoe is the expensive shoe, and your feet paid the difference the whole time. That is the definition of a skip. Number 9. Keds, skip. And I'm sorry, because this one has real history behind it. Keds started back in 1916. It is basically the original American canvas sneaker. Your mother wore these. You probably wore a pair to school yourself. And that history is honestly the problem, because the brand today is coasting on a name that used to mean something. To be fair, the rubber sole is bonded on with heat, which is genuinely durable. That is the one nice thing I can say. But the canvas is thin and gives your foot no structure, so the shoe collapses around you within a few weeks. Inside, you are walking on a flat board with a paper-thin layer over it. No arch support, no cushion, nothing. Wear these for a full day at the outlet mall, and your feet will let you know by dinner. Here is the comparison that tells the story. A pair of Keds runs $45 to $60 for a flat canvas shoe with no support. A Ryka walking shoe, which we will get to near the top, costs about the same and is built on an actual woman's foot with real cushion. Same money. One of them your feet will thank you for. On sizing, Keds come up true but a touch narrow, so if you are between sizes or have a wider foot, go up a half. They are fine for a 5-minute trip to grab the mail. As a shoe you count on all day, it is a skip. Number 8. Skechers, skip. I already know some of you are not going to like this one because Skechers is everywhere and they sell themselves on one word: comfort. And that soft, squishy, sink-right-in feeling when you first slide your foot in. That part is real, for about 3 weeks. Here is the catch. That famous Skechers memory foam is soft, but soft and supportive are not the same thing. Memory foam packs down permanently. It flattens out and it does not bounce back, so the cushion you paid for is basically gone by the second month. And now you are walking on a dead flat footbed. This is the thing foot doctors complain about the most, because soft with nothing supporting it underneath is how you end up with sore arches and aching heels. The uppers are mostly synthetic mesh that wears out where the shoe bends, and the soles are glued, not stitched. Next time you have your Skechers in your hands, press your thumb hard into the heel, right where you have walked the most. If the dent stays, that is the foam that is already gone. Tell me in the comments if yours holds the dent, because I am willing to bet most of them do. Now, in fairness, 2 things. The price is genuinely low, $50 to $75, so it is not insulting you the way the dupes do. And Skechers does make one line called Arch Fit, with a firmer built-in insole that is actually certified by podiatrists. So if you are set on Skechers, that is the line to look at. But their famous memory foam models, the ones most people grab off the shelf, are the ones I am warning you about. Those run big, so go down a half size. And for those soft memory foam pairs, it is still a skip for anything more than short, easy days. But cheap foam is not the only trap. The next two brands you probably own already and you love them, and I am about to complicate that. Number 7. Vans. Hit or miss. Vans got started in 1966, and it earned its icon status honestly. The best thing it has going is that rubber sole with the waffle bottom. It is grippy, it bends with your foot, and it is heat bonded rather than just glued, which is why a good pair can really take a beating. The canvas and suede on top are simple but honest, no fake leather coating pretending to be something it is not. So why only hit or miss? 2 reasons. First, the inside is flat as a pancake. Vans are famous for almost no arch support, so they are not the shoe for a woman on her feet all day. Second, the quality has quietly slipped. The canvas is thinner than it was 10 years ago, and the stitching comes loose faster than it used to. On sizing, Vans run big and a little wide, so order a half size down from your usual. And if you have a narrow foot, a full size down is not crazy. At $60 to $75, they are fairly priced for what they are. Buy them for a quick, cute, casual look, and you will be happy. Buy them expecting your feet to feel good after 4 hours, and you will not. Hit or miss. Number 6. Converse. Hit or miss. Converse put out its all-star basketball shoe in 1917, and the Chuck Taylor version arrived in 1922. It is probably the most recognizable sneaker shape on the planet. You have owned a pair. Your kids owned a pair. But we are judging how the shoe is built, not how famous it is. The good news is a lot like Vans. That rubber sole is bonded on properly, and the little rubber cap over the toe protects the spot that takes the most abuse. The bad news is the same story as Vans, only worse. The footbed in a Chuck Taylor is basically flat cardboard with a thin liner over it, one of the least supportive insides in any mainstream shoe. People buy aftermarket insoles for these almost automatically, which tells you everything. Here is the honest comparison. A pair of Chucks at $55 to $70 gives you a famous look and a flat, hard footbed. For that same money, a New Balance, which takes our top spot, gives you real cushion, real arch support, and a choice of widths. You are paying the same either way. Only one of them does anything for your feet. On sizing, Chucks run big, so go down a full size, and know that narrow, boxy toe does not suit every foot. They do last, so as a pure style piece, they are fine. But your feet get nothing extra. Hit or miss. Now real quick, before we get into the good ones, let me tell you about something that took me way too long to figure out on my own. I ranked 85 clothing and shoe brands from worst to best in one simple guide, with the exact quality checks I use in every one of these videos. It is like having me standing right there in the store with you, so you know before you even touch the shoe. Which brands are worth it and which ones are charging you $120 for a $20 sneaker. The link is in the video description, or scan the QR code that's on screen right now. Okay. Now the top 5, where it gets good. Number 5. Adidas hit or miss. Adidas got started in 1949, and it is one of the 2 big giants. When they get it right, they really get it right. The problem is you have to pick the right pair. Their better shoes use a cushioning called Boost, little foam beads fused together, and it is one of the best in the business. It does not pack down flat the way memory foam does, and it gives a little bounce back with every step, which your knees and hips will thank you for. So why not higher? Because Adidas also sells a mountain of cheaper lifestyle sneakers with thin foam, coated plastic tops, and glued soles that are nowhere near that good. The name on the box does not promise you the good stuff inside. And here is the tell. 2 Adidas shoes on the same wall, both $90. One has that Boost cushion and will feel great in year 2. The other is flat plastic that is done by summer. Same logo, same price, completely different shoe, and the store does nothing to help you tell them apart. On sizing, Adidas runs long and a little narrow, so go down a half size and look for a wide if you need one, because a lot of their models only come in one width. Buy their good cushioned line and it is a must-have. Grab whatever is on the clearance rack and it is a miss. So overall, hit or miss. Number 4. Nike. Must-have. Nike is the biggest athletic brand in the world, and at the top of their line, the engineering is genuinely excellent. This one earns a must-have, as long as you shop a little carefully. Their better midsoles are light, and they hold their cushion far longer than the cheap memory foam brands lower on this list. In their walking and running shoes, the whole thing is designed around how a foot actually moves, tested by real athletes, and you feel it mile after mile. Their knit uppers are one smooth piece too, which means fewer seams, and seams are where a shoe usually first falls apart. The catch is the same one as Adidas. Nike also sells simpler, cheaper lifestyle pairs without the good foam. But even Nike's middle-of-the-road tends to be built better than most, and a good pair keeps its shape and cushion season after season. On sizing, Nike runs true to a touch long and a bit narrow, so if you have a wider foot, order the wide version where they offer it rather than sizing up, which just makes the shoe long. At $90 to $180 for the good stuff. And a cushion that genuinely goes the distance, Nike is a must-have. Number 3. Ryka. Must-have. If you have never heard of this one, pay close attention, because this is a brand a lot of women walk right past and should not. Here's what makes Ryka different from every other name so far. Ryka only makes shoes for women, not scaled-down men's shoes with a pink logo slapped on, which is honestly what a lot of the big brands do. Ryka has built every shoe on a woman's foot shape since 1987, with a narrower heel, a roomier forefoot, and cushion tuned for a woman's weight and stride. That is not a marketing line. That is literally how the shoe is cut. Put it next to a big-name shoe, and it is not close. A designer lifestyle sneaker at $150 is usually a men's shoe shrunk down and colored pink, in one width, that slips in your heel all day. A Ryka walking shoe at $70 is built from the ground up for the exact spot where a woman's foot is narrower and wider than a man's. Less than half the price, and it actually fits the foot you have. The cushioning holds up, and the support is genuinely there under your arch, not just soft mush. On sizing, Ryka runs true, and that roomier forefoot is a real relief if your feet have widened over the years, which, let's be honest, everyone's do. It is not flashy. You will not see it in a Super Bowl ad. It just quietly does the one thing you actually want a shoe to do. Genuine must-have. Number 2. Vionic. Must-have. Vionic is the one your foot doctor might actually recommend by name, and there is a good reason for that. This brand was started by an actual podiatrist, and the arch support he designed is built right into the shoe. It is not a soft insole you toss on top and hope for the best. The support is molded into the foundation of the shoe itself, and a lot of their styles carry the seal of acceptance from the American Podiatric Medical Association, which, translated out of the fine print, just means real foot doctors examine these and put their name on them. That is not nothing, and almost no brand on this list can say it. For anyone with sore heels, tired arches, or that sharp first step in the morning, this is often the shoe that finally helps. The materials are a real step up too. Genuine leathers, quality suedes, properly finished uppers, not the coated plastic from the bottom of this list. Here is the value math. A pair of Vionic runs $100 to $150. A custom orthotic from a podiatrist's office can run you $200 to $400 on its own, before you even buy a shoe to put it in. Vionic builds comparable support right into a shoe you would actually wear. So why is it not number 1? Just the sticker price, which is real. On sizing, Vionic runs true, with genuine width options, which matters more every year. A strong must-have. Number 1. New Balance. Must-have. And here's the one that might surprise you, because for years, this was the shoe people teased as the boring dad sneaker. Well, the joke is over. New Balance has quietly become one of the best-built, best-fitting shoe brands you can buy. And for a woman who wants comfort that lasts, nothing on this list beats it. Here is why it takes the top spot. The cushioning is excellent, genuinely supportive, and it does not collapse on you after a month. But the real reason is the fit. New Balance makes their shoes in more actual widths than just about anybody. For women, that runs from narrow to standard to wide to extra wide, as a normal everyday thing, not some special order you have to hunt for. Line it up against the trendy option and look at what you get. A trendy designer sneaker at $200 gives you one width, a shape built for a photo, and a heel that slips all day. A New Balance at $110 gives you the exact width your foot actually is, real cushion, and real suede and mesh that lasts. The $200 shoe fits an image. The $110 shoe fits your foot. On sizing, New Balance runs true. And again, you can dial in your exact width. So if you have spent years squeezing into shoes that never quite fit, start here. There is a reason foot doctors recommend them so often, especially to women who are on their feet all day and want their feet to still feel good at night. Real support, real materials, and a fit made for your actual foot. That is why New Balance is number one. So let's run it back. 10 brands. 3 to skip, the dupes, Keds, and Skechers. Image and nostalgia with nothing under the hood. 2 that work if you pick carefully, Vans and Converse, tough and cute but flat as a board. And your top 5 built on the thing that actually matters, comfort and fit that last. Adidas and Nike on real cushion if you choose the right pair, then Ryka built for a woman's foot, Vionic built around real arch support, and New Balance taking the crown for fit, support, and materials that go the distance. And here is the number that ties the whole list together. That New Balance at the top, worn 3 years, comes out to about 70 cents a wear. The $30 dupe at the bottom, tossed in 2 months, cost you 38 cents a wear and gave your feet nothing the whole time. The pattern is the same every time. The brands at the bottom sell you a look. The brands at the top sell you a shoe. Now here is what I want to know. Which brand do you think I ranked too high and which too low? And which one did I miss entirely? Some of the best finds on this channel come straight out of the comments, so if there is a name you think belongs on this list, let us know below. And one thing to take with you every time you shop from here on out. Before you look at the price, flip the shoe over and look right where the sole meets the top. If you see a row of stitching or a clean molded edge, good. If all you see is a line of dried glue, put it back on the shelf. That 3-second check tells you more about how long a shoe will last than any tag or any ad ever will. And if you like this video, subscribe so you don't miss the next one.